Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Divided Nation. I'm your host, Iman Lee, and this is Why Somalis Struggle to Govern. So the topic of the day, or the elephant in the room, is the president of Mogadishu and the president of Jubaland. Now, President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud was a good friend of Ahmed Madowit for the last 3 years. But when Ahmed decided to walk away from the friendship and do his own thing, President Hassan Sheikh became very moody and labeled him names like Al-Shabaab sympathizers, Al-Shabaab lover, traitor to the Republic, friend to Ethiopia, friends to Kenya, and threat to the nation. This behavior isn't new. He has done it to the former president of Somaliland when they also disagreed, and former President Musabihi also walked away from the Djibouti meeting in December 2023. Right after that, Hassan Sheikh went on a tirade saying Somaliland is second to Al-Shabaab and they are a threat to the country's sovereignty. I'll show you how the hypocrisy in that whole situation. But let's get back to the elephant in the room. Ahmed realized that Hassan Sheikh Mohamud is trying to centralize the elections and micromanage who becomes president of Jubaland, who becomes president of Galmudug, who becomes president of Hirshabelle, who becomes government of Southwest State, and who becomes the mayor of Mogadishu. So when he realized this was happening, he says, you know what, man, I'm going to go back to my state and do my own thing, because I definitely did not agree to this during Farmajo's administration, and I won't be agreeing to it with your administration. Now, I'll make one thing super clear, and I know the issue with Somalis is when you point the issues, they label you as, oh, you support this guy. I support no one. I'm just giving you what's happening, what one guy continues to do, and what the other guy has been doing. Ahmed has been Ahmed for the last 13 years. And Hassan Sheikh keeps changing the last 13 years. When he was first president, he started attacking Jubaland and Ahmed and was against the formation of the state. When he became the opposition, he was kissing and hugging Ahmed to the point where he was bringing in Kenyan support for Ahmed. At the same time, the former government of Farmajo was in court taking the Kenyans to court when it comes to the sea. Yes, Hassan started it, but it is kind of weird that when you're in the middle of a trial, the guy who's currently right now painting himself as a nationalist was supporting Kenyans and supporting Ahmed. Today, he is the president of Somalia again, and Ahmed disagreed with him. And you know what happens when you disagree with someone like Hassan Sheikh? He starts labeling you as threat to national security, friends of Al-Shabaab, sympathizers to Ethiopia, sympathizers to Kenya, and, second to Al-Shabaab when it comes to the National Security Index for his little government. So that means the hypocrisy really lies with Hassan Sheikh, because in 2019, the former government of Farmajo was trying to also do the same thing and remove Ahmed and bring someone new. It was Hassan Sheikh and the opposition, but Hassan Sheikh being the loudest in the group, who supported Ahmed in 2019. So today coming out and saying, golly gee, this guy is an Al-Shabaab supporter, he's not doing the job, he's not really fighting Al-Shabaab. Was he fighting Al-Shabaab in 2019 then? It's funny how you seem to hate the guy when he's not, marching to your tunes, right? So just a month ago, Ahmed, unlike the government in Puntland, was working side by side with Hassan Sheikh. So for 3 years, Ahmed was your friend. For 3 years, Ahmed was pushing your policies. Ahmed was signing your illegal constitution. And when Ahmed felt like, oh, you're coming for me, this is going to affect me and my government, and left, all of a sudden, the guy is a bad guy and a threat to national security. Now, what did Hassan Sheikh do? Hassan Sheikh sent out a red notice, which is another crazy thing. I'll let you guys know about that in a second. And he also sent out an arrest warrant from the Mogadishu court. And in the first time in Somali history, a state apparatus sent a arrest warrant for a sitting president of so-called Somalia. So that is the clear definition in my book for a banana republic. But hey, this is just me giving you the facts. You go ahead and do your research and look at it. Now let's get to the red notice. He sent a red notice, which will be reviewed by the Interpol, which, to be honest with you, won't meet up to the standards of what a red notice should be. On top of that, folks, listen to this. The guy he's sending out an international arrest warrant is in the country. Ahmedo is not sipping Coca-Cola in the beaches of Mexico. He is in Kismayo. He knows where he is, but yet he sends out a red notice to Interpol. What does that tell you? It tells you the capacity in Villa Somalia. Not very bright. Now, if those guys are not very bright, they're also signing all these weird unknown deals that no one knows about. What does that tell you? I don't know. So it tells you the capacity and all these deals that he's trying to push. It might be beneficial to just him and his pocket and his family, but not to the rest of the people. Now, here's another worrying situation. Hassan Sheikh is using the so-called Somali National Army to counter or attack Ahmedowi. He's telling the people, I'm going to fight Al-Shabaab, and that's why I'm sending troops to Ras Kamboni, a city in Jubaland. But did he succeed phase 1 and phase 2 of his war on Al-Shabaab in Hirshabelle and Galmudug? Nope. That did not go well, and it's not finished. So if you haven't succeeded in Jubaland, in Galmudug and Hirshabelle, why are you going to Jubaland, especially when you're fighting the guy and sending out arrest warrants? That means you're looking for problems, you're looking for conflict. And that's why it's called a divided nation, and that's why Somalis are struggling. Again, folks, this guy, if it was someone new, we would have had a different conversation. But this individual named Hassan Sheikh Mohamud was supporting every single thing Ahmedowi was doing for the last 3 years, and was supporting Ahmedowi when he was in the opposition, and is literally doing exactly the same thing he opposed when he was the president of Somalia. When he was the opposition and against Farmaajo. Farmaajo wasn't a saint, but when you, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe we can just call it a straight up hypocrite and a straight up munafiq. That's it. The guy goes to the mosque and says, "Oh my God, he's not serious about fighting Al-Shabaab." I don't think you're serious about fighting Al-Shabaab, because you have appointed Al-Shabaab top directors into your government. So you're not serious about fighting Al-Shabaab. You're literally putting the butchers who've killed thousands of kids in Mogadishu as a minister. You're not serious about fighting Al-Shabaab. So what we got here, folks, is literally the definition of a banana republic. And people hate it, especially people will come at me, "Oh, you're a hater, and you're this and that and this." The people who support Hassan Sheikh today, who are pushing this nationalistic point of view, when Hassan Sheikh was in the opposition, quote, he said, Somalia should not have a strong military, and the SNA should not be powerful, and they should be reduced, because he was saying Farmaajo is building an army to abuse us. On top of that, he made false claim, like the soldiers that Eritrea was training were dying in the Tigray war. So this guy isn't a patriot, but all of a sudden, now that he's in Villa Somalia, he found his new love for Somalia. So, again, last thing here, when he called Somaliland second to Al-Shabaab, he sent them a congratulations after they had a one person, one vote elections. So this is the type of person we're dealing with, and this is the type of person they're supporting.